and welcome to Týrcast 36. My name is Henrik Johansson, singer and guitar player of the heavy metal band Týr, and I am coming to you from Mivavar in the Faroe Islands.
Hello, Gunnar Thompson, bass player of Týr, formerly known as Gums, and I'm in Mivavar as well.
Hans, go on.
All right, I'm Hans, and I'm in Famio. I play guitar sometimes. Go on.
In this band, right?
Sometimes.
Hello, I'm Tad. I'm the drummer. I'm in Týrcast.
This is the first episode of our 5th season. 5th year we do this, gentlemen. How about that? We put this up on YouTube, on Spotify podcast, on Apple podcast, Google podcast, and to Buzzsprout. You can see it before anyone else on patreon.com/Týrband. Plus you can have access to some extra material. The Battle Ballads album, our 9th, has been out since April 12th, and the last time we made a Tyrcast was last year. So, new album. How about that?
How about that?
It has 1,041,822 streams on Spotify. 23 now, and 753,000 plays on YouTube. So. I must say, reception has been very good. We sold more than anyone had expected on the Battle Ballads tour. It was sold out several times and restocked. So thank you all for listening and buying the album.
Thank you, everybody. Yes.
Thank you very much.
So, how was the tour? I suppose people might want to hear our experience of it. Gunnar?
Fantastic.
How was the tour?
It was absolutely fantastic.
Good. We'll
Way beyond
note
what we
Gunnar for having said absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, way beyond what we expected, I think. Very good show-ups and, good all the way through. Thaddeus? Your opinion on this matter?
I have to agree with you, my dear friend. No, it was great. It was great. The bus was crowded. Very crowded.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a hell of a great tour. 28 shows and 2 off days in 30 days. I mean, that is intense, but I like it like that. I have to admit, I don't like too many off days because they just disrupt everything. And so yeah, let's keep it up like that. So for the next tour, let's do 45 days with 44 shows. Okay.
How about 50?
Yeah. Okay.
I dare you.
And 25 people in the bus instead of 60.
Exactly, and it's not going to be a tour bus; it's going to be a bandwagon. Yes.
Yeah.
Look, the strange reason. Let me first talk about the tour. Maybe I think it's the best tour I've ever been on. It had a few downsides, no doubt about that. But all tours have that. Compared to any other tour we've been on, I would say this was the best.
Definitely.
For many different reasons, and also not for some reasons. But there are very strange reasons you cannot tour for a band like us. That is, cannot tour for 2 months straight. It's because most people have other jobs that they have to go back to. Most of us are fortunate that we don't. But that's really a strange reason. So they can't take more than other people like technicians, tour managers, other bands also. The people who play in the supporting bands usually have other jobs they have to go to.
I have another job to go to, but I don't give a hoot.
Exactly. No,
This is my job.
Exactly, it's the other way around. You have to leave your second job to come to your first job, which is this.
Yes. Much nicer.
So the turnouts were, I would say, extremely good, and the reactions from the crowds were I would say, generally overwhelming on this tour. Extremely positive.
I thought every night was amazing. I mean, truly amazing. Yeah, I never seen the crowd cheer so much as on this tour. So
I agree. Another thing is we for the first time maybe ever we did a proper pre-production.
Yeah.
And that I remember from previous tours that say the first 5 shows are a bit shaky and then you sort of get into the rhythm. But on this one, even the very first show, although it was quite a hectic day, it went splendidly. And it's the pre-production that did it.
Who knew that rehearsing for a tour would pay off? Who knew?
We all knew. It's only that we've not had the luxury of living in the same country for ever.
yeah.
And
So we usually all just turned up straight from jobs and straight on tour.
yeah,
So that's not the way to go.
it isn't.
But what I loved about this tour also, we did the VIP on this tour, and we did these acoustic sessions every day. I absolutely loved it. I actually thought I would absolutely despise it, but I loved it.
It was very
It
very
was
nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually didn't play 28 shows, but 56.
If you count it like that,
Technically,
yes.
Yeah. It was amazing. Hans, your toppings on this?
On the acoustic shows,
Yeah?
very
Or the
fun.
tour?
Yes.
Or the tour?
The tour was amazing. I already miss it,
Yeah.
but
It was your first tour in North America.
it was. It
It's
was
actually
awesome.
Yes.
it's your first proper tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that.
And that.
It was your first time. It's Hans's first time in Minneapolis. Did you feel
Yes,
welcome there, Hans?
North
US.
America,
Yes.
pop your cherry.
I didn't. But
Now, don't embarrass
All
the
right.
little guy.
Nah.
this
I'm so
it
proud.
was very good.
A bit better than yours, but not much.
No, it was great. It was really great.
We'll get back to the tour. There are some questions from our patrons on Patreon, and many of the questions are about the tour in more detail. So, how about we go on to what we're about to do next? We were supposed to play a show yesterday that was cancelled. In
And
Strand
that
there.
would actually be, would probably be cancelled under any circumstances because the flights didn't land at all. So all the technicians and so on.
True. It was cancelled for different reasons first, but we wouldn't have had our technicians, any of them, come because they would all have come from abroad. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. It's been pretty foggy lately, and the Faroese football
is
team
actually
was
amazing.
stuck.
The weather's actually amazing. It's just fog.
Exactly, it's completely calm, warm, nice, just thick fog over the airport, but not everywhere. If you go to the estuary, east and north and of the islands, there was no fog. Happens, depends on the wind direction, temperature and whatnot. Nothing we can do about that. However, we have other shows coming up. On the 1st of June, we play in the Faroes at the first edition of a festival called Okkaraland. and it means our country. They're probably sponsored by Okara beer, which is a brand of beer. I'm saying that without knowing maybe what I'm talking about. It's possible that's utter nonsense, but that sounds likely.
But at least you did some advertisement now for them.
Yes.
The beer or the festival?
Both.
Yeah.
Do they still actually have that beer?
I don't know
Yes.
whether
They do.
they
Yes,
do
they
or not.
do.
I strongly
I think Ferjabjörn bought it.
discourage any consumption of beer.
Okay.
Let that be known.
Yeah.
All right, then maybe it is. That's in Tórshavn in the Faroe Islands. Tickets on sale right now, I'm sure. On the 5th of June, we play at Sweden Rock Festival. I think there's a beer
Sweden.
called Sweden, and no, just kidding.
And they put rocks in it.
I think it's a
Just to
country
cool it
that's
down.
called Sweden, and then they have a festival that's called Rock.
Wow. Blows
Then they
my
put,
mind
like,
every
the-
time.
Country name, but I'm not sure about this.
Are you making fun of me? Are you making fun of Uncle Harry?
Yeah.
He's getting cocky. One tour under the belt and he's getting cocky.
One tour.
Unbelievable.
One tour, one album, one mega hit, and this is what we have to deal with.
Massive banger going on Spotify. Crushing all records and charting on all charts.
Yeah, I didn't get our chart numbers in here, but there were some. I put them on Instagram and Facebook the other day. Maybe we could go over those, because I actually have no idea what they mean. Anyway, Sweden Rock Festival on the 5th of June. I think is the first day of the festival.
Yes, it is.
And then on the 30th of June, we play Rock the Camp in... You want to pronounce that, Tadeusz?
Cluj-Napoca, it's Kolozsvár in Romania.
Yeah. Have we been there before? I don't think so.
I have. No, not at this. Not at the festival.
Gunnar, do you remember?
This festival? No, I'm quite sure we haven't, because we played local shows
Okay,
in
yeah.
Romania.
Good. But we
I
played...
could be wrong.
We played a few shows in Romania recently and before. I'm sure it's going to be great. We've always had a good experience there. I love the weather they have.
And the bears.
I thought for a moment you said the beers.
Beer?
Well, they have beers,
big
but they
bears.
also have bears. Yes, brown bears.
They also have a lovely drink called grappa, or
That is it. Isn't that Hungary
is that Hungarian?
No, grappa is Italian. Isn't
or
it?
Italian?
No, you mean palinko, but that's Hungarian. But they have it in Kolozsvár as well.
Yeah.
But palinko
I'll
is
never forget when I'll
Horrible.
never forget when I saw Harry take a drink of that first time.
I could imagine.
That was in Hungary somewhere, and
Yes. It was
Everybody
Hungarian.
makes the same face the first time they drink.
oh my
Yeah,
God, you
my,
should see
my
his face.
was stuck in a grimace for a week.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hungary, we're playing the Rock Marathon Festival on the 13th of July
Yeah,
With Judas Priest.
with Judas Priest, right before Judas Priest, and they may have to downsize the Priest show and move some stuff. Let's see what we can see when we get there. I'm sorry, Rob, but I mean,
There's enough space on that stage for both of us.
I'm sure there is.
I think there's space for many metal bands on that stage.
On the 1st of August, we go back to our lovely Malpaga Folk and Metal Fest in Italy. This will be the third time, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
At least.
Beautiful area. Amazing arrangement and just wonderful people.
Yeah, and good food.
And not to mention, extremely good food. So looking forward to that, meeting all the Italian metalheads again. On the 10th of August, we finally play at this Leyendas del Rock. We have had so many requests from Spain to play at this festival for 15 or 20 years now. I don't know how old this festival is, but I've got many, many requests. And finally, we can tell the Spaniards we are coming to Leyendas del Rock on the 10th of August.
We have played in some big festival there before in Spain. Do you remember what that was?
Testament was there, and
Sepultura.
Sepultura. Yeah, Sepultura. Right. I was thinking about Sepultura. I don't remember the name of the festival. It was a pretty big one.
The last time we played in Spain, wasn't it in 2016?
Yeah, no, this is way before. This is way before your time.
Before my time. I'm sorry.
Is 16 really the last time that little tour we made in the van?
We had
in
that
Spain?
tour. Yeah, we played in Portugal once since then, but not in Spain, I think.
You might be right. That is a crying shame.
It is. It absolutely is. No, we had some shows on the European tour. No, with Heidefolk. I can't remember.
Yes, we did.
I'm confusing things.
I'm quite sure we did have some tours there.
Right. I mean, must have been more recently than 8 years ago.
We're getting old.
Yeah, getting old. But we're getting back to Spain. That's
exactly
a given.
Yeah.
On the 31st of August, we play at what is now looking to be the last festival of the summer for us, at Nord Festival in Viaray in the Faroe Islands. This is the second or third time they have this festival. It's in the northernmost village of the country. It is a very, very beautiful place, and it's a small village with a few hundred people.
I didn't even know they had this festival before. I thought it was brand new. Okay.
This is the second or third time. I don't remember either of those. And it's in the middle of the village. I heard only good things about it, but I haven't been there.
It's a nice place, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we went on
beautiful
a hike there
area
from Viaray up to Enneberg. Yeah,
Enneberg.
That's a damn decent hike.
And that's the highest drop in the country, right? Or the highest vertical drop.
780 some meters.
Yeah.
Straight into the ocean. That is something to look at.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, you have a time to have a thought or two on the way down.
Yeah. Should I have pulled the other string? Oh, do I have another string?
I wonder if the water will feel soft at this speed.
Yeah.
No, it will
Oh
not.
shit! This is my backpack. Oh crap!
That actually happened. More tours to come, more shows to come. We will announce them as they come in. They are being arranged as we speak. We can't mention them yet because we have to wait for confirmation from all parts. But there are several tours, several shows in the making. If you, the kind audience, want to stay up to date on that, then I think the best way is to sign up for our newsletter on tyr.fo or track us on bandsintown.com/tyrband. It's getting more and more difficult to reach people through the regular socials. We have 300,000 followers on Facebook, but when we post something, all 300,000 people are not made aware of it. So it happened even on this tour in the US that some people say right after we played to their city, we should come to Boston or something. We were there 3 days ago. How did you miss it if you're a fan of the band? So I don't know how to make sure everyone is aware. Maybe some people are just stuck in their own world, a bit like me, for a bit too long. In which case we really can't help you. But I would say the most certain way would be to sign up for our newsletter on Týr.fo. We will announce all shows and tours there. Is that your church bell, Gunnar?
And
Or Hans?
it's the church bell here.
So do you have to go now?
Yes.
I have to go to church.
Preaching to the choir.
We would like...
Oh Lord, and 5 Marys and all that. See you later.
Hail Satan. We'd like people to join us on patreon.com/Týrband. You can join for free, or you can join as a paying patron. The first 5 people to join will get a drum head signed by the entire band and a drumstick used by Thaddeus at one of our shows, and a Hans Hammer guitar pick. It has the
Used
logo
by Henry
on one side and Hans Hammer's name on the other side. I don't have my own plectrums for the time being, so I steal from Hans. There are many people in front row who ask me for the pick, and all I have to give them is a Hans Hammer pick. But hey,
You can get a used one from me if you want.
how many of those do you have?
I have at least 2. And they're signed.
I might have
And they're
one.
even
Let's
signed by me,
see if we can find 5 and include them.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, let's do that. But hey, I'm a great Hans Hammer fan, so I don't mind giving away his picks.
We're definitely
showing
up
your
to
support.
Yes.
3.
How's it going, Gunnar? Coming up with anything?
Oh, are you still searching?
4.
Then we have 5.
4?
Good. So, if you...
So, almost 5.
I have one here somewhere. If you become a paying patron of the band at patreon.com/Týrband, you'll get a drum head signed by the band, a used drumstick, a Hans Hammer guitar pick used by Heri and yours truly, and one Gunnar Thomsen bass pick. We will ship it to you wherever you are in the world, free of charge. So there, and that includes Mexico and Brazil, because they will ask.
Argentina too.
Argentinians are I don't know, they somehow know automatically that when you say the world you mean Argentina too, but in Mexico and Brazil they feel kind of left out, because when you say the entire world they're not convinced that you mean them too. We have yet more. Yeah, Thaddeus, you were saying?
No. Go ahead.
Napalm Records, ever heard of them? They are about to release the best of the Napalm years Týr compilation CD and LP, to be released on the 31st of May. So there. Who knew? Who knew? So anyone who's interested, I would advise go to napalmrecords.com and search for Týr, Tyr, and place your order if you're interested in such items. So another release under our belt. How many does that add up to with the live and everything?
It adds up to 13.
13. Wow.
No, 12, right? 9 studio albums, 1 live album, 1 Ola Ridder Rose.
Well, there's actually
and 1.
there's actually a live on the, well, it's on the same album, but on the
Doesn't count.
Live at Wacken DVD.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It count. I would say it counts as one album probably.
yeah.
So
Not if it's not able to purchase the Wacken show
Exactly.
as a standalone album.
So 13 now.
Okay, you
Cool.
go ruin this for us now. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Consider it ruined. Next. So yeah, a lot of good news. Kind of overwhelmed here by all the. It looks like I have a career. What do you say, guys? We have a career, kind of.
It's gonna be smashed in a few years anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
hang
why?
on there for a minute. Did you count in Olorideros?
I think Hans just did.
That's
Yes,
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Hans knows what he's talking about.
How-
Hans,
How
I would
could I
say,
forget?
is the biggest Tyr fan here.
But there has been many occasions where you guys are discussing something about your career that I could clarify for you, like release dates and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
For example, on the tour, you kept saying that Lay of Trim was released in 2014 and then 2009. And it
Or
was 11.
11 is actually right. Okay.
11.
Yes,
11. By the Light of the Northern Star was 9.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
You should have corrected me earlier, but thank you for your correction nonetheless.
No, I did then.
Oh, you did. I just
Yes, I
wasn't
was just
listening.
giving an example.
This is very yeah. Thanks.
Oh, you weren't listening.
It's
That never happens.
It's one of my less charming traits. Simply not hearing. We have 3 release anniversaries later this month. So The Lay of Thrym, By the Light of the Northern Star, and Land were released at the end of May in their respective years. So there's that to announce too.
Yeah.
Now we get to my favorite subject of the entire Týrcast 36. Maybe of the entire year, maybe of my entire life. Because Gunnar has a YouTube channel now.
Who knew?
Who knew? And he has 2 videos where he makes a bass playthrough of which songs is it, Gunnar?
It's hammered and
Axis.
Axis, huh?
I think
Yeah.
Is the third one coming soon?
We recorded Dragons 2 for a playthrough, and it's coming very, very soon, if not immediately.
And hopefully we'll do some more of these playthroughs through other older songs, maybe with a little bit more of dialogue and stuff like that. We need to ease into that. But
Wow,
We'll do
Gunnar, the YouTube monster.
You
Yeah.
can start by announcing how long the song is before you play it the next time. So this is Access. It's 3 minutes long. There you go.
And
Do that.
it's at BPM 180, and it's in D minor. No, there are requests now and then. How do you play this and that? And some of our stuff is very difficult, if not impossible, to learn by ear because of the. At first glance, nonsensical lines. They're not nonsensical when they're put together, but when you have just one line, one guitar line, or just a bass line, you're kind of, what? That can't be it. That's not how you play bass. But that's our music. And so, sometimes it's, I would say, close to impossible to learn it by ear.
yeah, and I've seen some try to do my bass lines online, and
Failed miserably.
there's definitely some pointers to give to how to do it my way.
Did you have a specific song in mind?
Well, Hold the Heat and Hammer High, for example.
Yeah.
They almost picked the wrong fingering every time.
Yeah. Let's do that. That would be very easy and fast to do, and maybe one of the most relevant songs to make a playthrough of.
Yeah. So.
I'll provide a link here on YouTube to Gunnar's YouTube channel. You'll see it in the cards, I think, in your left side of the screen. If you're not on YouTube, just right now you can find Gunnar simply by looking up Gunnar Thompson, and you'll find his channel.
Yeah.
Unless there's more to add there, then we come to questions and comments from our listeners on Patreon.
Let's hear them.
Yeah.
Jesse Ostian has quite a few questions. He put them on Patreon, and he asks, what's the most memorable moment from the 2024 Battle Ballads tour? The most memorable moment... what sticks in my mind is running 20 kilometers in the hills around Kamloops in Canada.
Yeah, that was a good one. The off day in Biloxi and meeting Kirk Winstein was quite nice as well.
That was a nice day.
Yeah, that was a nice day. But I mean, the shows were, I mean, they were all so great that they don't really stick out because they were on such a high level with all the, I mean, all the audiences were great. And
I think actually the Gramercy Theatre in New York sticks out. That was an amazing moment for me, at least.
yeah, of course. It was very great.
It's a great place. It's a great place, and it simply just looked fantastic looking all over the audience. So I thought that was amazing.
Mr. Hammer?
Yeah, the shows kind of agree with Ted. It was all very good, so it's hard to find certain ones that stick out. But I like those bigger venues, like the one in New York. They make it even more fun, and I really enjoyed that day in New York, walking around and stuff. I always wanted to visit there. It was very nice. But yeah, so many nice places, a lot of cool things I saw. Yeah.
Next question from Jesse Ostian is the favorite show played. I suppose he means on this tour. Yeah, they were all quite so good. And picking one.
I remember
show.
Seattle was very energetic.
I was about to mention that. It was not the best venue, but it was an incredible show.
Yeah,
and I left with a very, very good feeling after that.
Yeah, and Seattle always do.
Yeah. Seattle has something about it.
Yeah.
Jesse asks, what was the best crowd? I might say Seattle as well.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
There were a few where it was like crazy.
Yeah.
I can't say one was the best.
Toronto.
If you pick out
Horseshoe Tavern, that was also that was very intense.
Yeah.
You know, we also some of the very early ones had this crazy circle pits and crowd surfing all the time.
One thing that happens on tour is that when you play Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the crowds are a bit more calm usually, and when you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, people are much more upbeat because they don't have to get up in the morning and they can party a bit more. So we noticed some of those, I would say, waves, but by and large, people were much more upbeat than on any tour I think we've been on.
I thought every show was absolutely amazing. I didn't get that feel at all. So
I thought about it when we came to Texas. We played 3 shows in Texas, and one of them was considerably calmer than the other 2.
El Paso, maybe.
I think for that reason that it was a a Monday.
Probably, yeah. But even that was pretty packed. I mean,
yes, they were still good. That's not the point at all. They just people are a bit less enthusiastic compared to the other crowds.
True.
Jesse asks, did anyone get injured? Was there an injury?
Gunnar's eye.
No, that's not an injury.
Not an injury per se, no. An infection.
And that's still ongoing, by the way.
Oh, shit. Have you been to the doctor?
I'm going Tuesday.
Good. I don't think that was an injury. It happens. It does happen on tour. Someone gets a serious injury, breaks their finger or arm or whatever. That we've had that happen. Not to us, fortunately. But on this tour, there were no such on this tour, issues.
I was basically sick the whole tour, as it was.
Yeah.
And I continued to be sick when I got home. I just got rid of it. So it's like a basic cold. And I got that eye thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens. Good times, yeah. It kind of happens, so
it was otherwise an uneventful tour. There were no issues no terminal issues of any kind that stick in my mind, at least.
No.
Jesse asks further, who in the band takes the longest to get ready? The drummer always has the most and the hardest task of the tour. There's no doubt about that.
But I mean, I'm always the first one to get ready because Loden starts with the drums. So, but
you have the most to set up. You have the most tests to make. You have the most mics connected to your instruments. So, if
true,
you only.
I don't think that's actually the question. I think
the question is
who is fidgeting around the most before show.
Who's that?
I think we're all pretty.
I would say here in Tyrcast, because they have a workout ritual going an hour or two before the show.
Okay.
Well, okay. I also have the warm-up routine, which takes also an hour. So but you don't delay the show for that. You just have to start on time with your ritual. So
I think we're all pretty good at being ready when we're supposed to be ready.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. There's no delays waiting for anyone. We don't have such a prima donna in the band, I think.
Anymore.
No.
If all of you went silent there, then it would probably be me. But since you didn't, I assume you don't think I'm a prima donna.
I think the prima donna's days are nicely over, I think.
Yes.
So,
What's your favorite food on the road? Asks Jesse.
Ooh.
Whenever I go to the US, I love a bit too much to drink Dr. Pepper.
That's true.
It's the best fizzy drink there is, and but I try to stay away from it, and I fail most of the time. But apart from that, I like to eat beef jerky, nuts, and apples.
It would be the same for me, I guess, with beef jerky.
The good thing about beef jerky is you don't need a fridge or anything. It's dried and you can keep it anywhere. And there's a lack of fridge space on every tour, so that's one of the reasons I like it. Also, it's just
it reminds a little bit of home. We have this called Chefbröd. It's not the same, but it kind of reminds me of that.
It's dried, yes.
Dried,
exactly.
So it's kind of nice. But I would say, on top of that, that probably goes for you here also. A nice meatball sandwich from
Subway.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's probably it.
That is good.
That is the shit.
Yeah, bitches.
Therese?
You eat?
I actually don't really eat on tour. No, that's not true. But I keep it to a minimum. But I'm fine with almonds, cheese, and apples, and the occasional hummus. So that's of course. If let's say the driver brings in 2 big boxes of donuts for the whole bus, then I might have 1 or 2. It doesn't mean I wouldn't eat 8, but I try to keep it to a minimum. And then somebody else eats 6.
They were good and they were free, and I was starving.
What?
And they were about to be thrown out. So I thought,
No, they were not. They were not
thrown out.
Yes,
There's
they
nobody
were in the
in their
morning.
right mind who would throw out donuts from a tour bus, man.
I have a sweet tooth from hell, to say the least. I have very low resistance to anything that contains sugar. I have never tasted anything in my life that I thought contained too much sugar. Never. So there. Hans.
My favorite.
Your favorite
My
food on the
favorite
road?
food? Well, I would be lying if I said I had any, because I ate bread and cheese probably 95% of the time. So yeah, there's that. I didn't eat very much. I didn't feel the need to, and actually, I really liked it. I had some nice burgers 3 times, but that was that.
Yeah.
Way too much Dr. Pepper, actually.
Oh, wait. The lasagna Sven brought us in Chicago. That was very good.
Yeah. We have a friend, Alex Van Toonheim in Chicago. He usually brings us food, and it's just amazing. Yeah, lasagna, cheese, meat, other stuff.
Oh yeah.
I actually ate a lot of fish in cans, canned fish, which is amazing. Anyway, so and it's healthy. I mean,
yeah. What's the worst place we played on this tour? Asks Jesse.
Worst place?
The worst place. There weren't bad places, but some of the venues are unfortunately shaped.
Yeah.
I would say specifically on this tour, the one in Seattle has an unfortunate layout for a band like us. There's a pillar or 2 on stage, or in the crowd, and then there's the whole crowd is I don't know, maybe 5 people deep, and then 100 people wide. So the crowd is kind of put out before us in a very wide line.
And there's a whole area by the bar where you kind of have to look over there to see that actually it's packed with people there as well.
Also,
so it was still one of the greatest shows, but
yeah.
The place
also,
itself.
Places where you have to go through the crowd to get on stage is a bit, it kind of takes away the magic of it.
Your entrance is a bit underwhelming.
Yeah. So
that was in Quebec,
Quebec City, for example. That was, the place itself was packed, so it was actually difficult to get through. But but yeah, it was, when you're standing right next to the first few rows and they're looking at you, are you going on stage right now? And you're like, the intro is the intro is on,
nice, but it's just it makes for an underwhelming stage entry. And we try to do it in a more theatrical way now, and when the layout of the venue is like that, it's just not possible. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the crowd or the people who arrange the show or anything. There's just some venues are in their physical layout unfortunate.
Yes.
The most memorable item collected on this tour, asks Jesse. Someone brought us.
That goes to you.
Yeah, well, I would say there are three things actually. Someone brought us a baseball signed by Ronnie James Dio.
I never saw that.
It's in my studio. I'm gonna put it on the wall. It's in a square glass box, in a transparent plastic bag even, and it has Dio's tiny little handwriting on it. Amazing. I also got a knife from a friend in Greensboro.
It's almost a sword.
Jeremy Fulton, and that's
It's the kind of knife a Crocodile Dundee would use.
no joke knife, handmade, beautiful stuff.
You managed to fly home with it?
Yeah, I put it in the pellet case. They scanned it right in front of me at Copenhagen Airport. Even like you have to stand there while they scan your luggage before they let you go. And the overweight luggage, they didn't say a thing. So
That's nice.
I've done that before with a sword, even in a guitar case. I don't know what they see in those machines, but I'm not made to feel more safe by this.
I think actually they see everything they need to see, but it depends on which way it's going. I think if you got caught up here, they would ask you in customs. Probably you'll get through, but they would definitely ask about it.
This was in Copenhagen, and they didn't ask.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
No, Copenhagen, because you're going through.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't. That's not what they're looking for. So
I guess. I got a lot of guitar strings also from people. I started. I simply couldn't find the strings I usually use before we went on tour, so I thought I'll just buy them in Copenhagen. Got to Copenhagen, they weren't there. Then I thought I'll just buy them in America. Couldn't find them anywhere, so I got quite desperate in the end. I just wrote on Facebook, on our Facebook page, "Can anyone bring me these strings?" And I got like 50 sets of these D'Addario strings, and so I have more strings than I need now. They will last me years probably. So that's very nice. Thank you all for that. You gentlemen, someone brought you something, I'm sure.
nah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Again, our friend in Chicago, he is also a very talented silversmith, and he let us pick some stuff he brought, and I got this.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got
That sounds nice.
a silver arm ring for my wife as well, true. We also got socks and underwear,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
which might be the single most useful item on tour, at least that you can bring in proper amounts.
And we also got shirts in Greensboro.
Yeah, that was from the underwear and socks were from the Friendly Man podcast.
James, yes.
James, right.
Yeah, I got offered those jewelries as well, but I don't wear any jewelry, so
Yeah.
don't do that.
It's very nice. It's very heartwarming when people bring us stuff. We got some people brought us meat and other stuff, but I would say, in general, when we're on tour, we don't really need more alcohol. We get plenty of it. It's on our rider, and also sometimes people bring us much bigger stuff, and we simply cannot bring it home. and we have to leave it, and it's a shame. So if you're considering bringing us anything, make it the smallest thing possible, because we're always overpacked, even coming in, and even more when we go home.
You can always bring some antique diving gear for me. That will be great. I don't mind that. That's what I collect.
75-kilo diving bell.
No, just
if it's valuable
breathing
enough,
apparatus.
if it's valuable
breathing
enough, we will find
that
a way to bring it home. Sure.
Yes.
From the 50s, double hose regulators.
Yeah.
That will be fine if you have stuff like that.
We have another question on Patreon from Jort Kamerbek. He asks, in terms of writing the new album, which song was the easiest or smoothest to write, and what part, instrumental or lyrical, was a real struggle?
I think didn't Axis go pretty smooth?
That was.
It did.
I wanted to say the same thing. We were sitting in Prague at your place back in the day here, and I think it took us we had Gunnar's main theme, but it had a totally different tempo, and then we switched it up to make it full blast, and then we were done with the whole song within 15 minutes, I think. So it went really smooth and fast.
Pretty much.
That sounds about right. I was about to answer the other question, which was a real struggle, and that was Välkomna Föringar, because I was working on it for years and years, since before the Hill album, trying variations, chord progressions and everything. Is very difficult because I didn't want to change the melody, because it's a traditional melody with a traditional rhythm, so it breaks the rhythm all the time. And it's hard to make it sound fluent. It's just going to sound choppy and stoppy. And I must have tried 20 different arrangements and chord progressions and everything. I won't even say that I'm 100% satisfied with it as it is, but I just don't think I could have made it better. So that was a real struggle. As for lyrics, I think they went pretty well. I never feel I'm struggling with lyrics, and Thaddeus and I wrote 3 of the lyrics together on this one and went even faster.
Those went very well. I think so too.
Yeah, they did. There was no struggle. I thought writing the Faroese part in Causa Latronum Normanorum would be a struggle, but it took me only a few hours once I sat down to do it. So overall, when we got to work, it went fast. Both lyrics and music. Making the solos was easy too. There was some solos that took me a long time. I recorded them first. I was not satisfied. Re-recorded some parts of it. It wasn't a struggle really. It's just something you have to sit down and do and take your time with it. Making solos together with Hans was very easy and fast. First take, always practice with a metronome and all that.
Yeah. No, it's just about, practicing slowly with the metronome, getting the technique right and playing it clean.
Super clean.
So an afternoon at Harris Place, and it was all done.
Yeah. And
that was with coffee breaks, even though I don't drink coffee.
And smoking breaks.
Yes.
So by and large, easy. Nothing overly complicated on this album, I would say. Sandra Smith asks on Patreon, has one of you ever trained for an Ironman or dreamed about doing a physical challenging feat?
We're doing physically challenging feats all the time. No.
I've never trained for an Ironman. It sounds like it would be very funny. I've taken part in other sports that I've trained for, rowing mostly and running also. So yeah, I've dreamed about and I have taken part in physically challenging feats, and I hope I will again many times in the future.
I would never participate in anything physically challenging at all if I can avoid it at all.
But you have to.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Yes, Gunnar.
Anything that makes you breathe much.
Yes.
I think the most
thing
physical
in
thing
the
is
world.
going on stage, and that's fine.
But
So,
you have to.
no, it's horrible. Oh my God, it's horrible. I don't
I
understand.
had a friend who told me once, if the doctor told me stinging needles into my eyeballs was good for my health, I would rather do that than exercise.
Yes, definitely. I do exercise every now and then, and I hate it.
You're good
But
at
it's
it,
good.
Gunnar. You're very good at it.
I'm good at hating it.
Also good at the exercise. Hans, you're remarkably silent in this conversation.
No.
Yeah. What was
You
the
see?
question? I forgot. Sorry.
Has one of you ever trained for an Ironman or dreamed
I don't even know
about
what an
doing
Ironman is.
a physically challenging feat? It's a contest where you do 3 disciplines at a specific length. You run, swim, and bicycle.
We did that in school.
Yeah.
It's called triathlon.
Yeah.
No, I don't think an Ironman is the same. Maybe there are 4 disciplines in Ironman.
No, I think isn't an
it's
Ironman
the same.
just more of? I mean, it's a triathlon, but more extreme.
I think so, yeah.
I think.
It's running,
all right.
swimming, and bicycling.
Yeah.
If I remember it correctly.
I used to do stuff like that. Never got into it again. I used to love to run, and I don't know. It's very hard to get started again. I remember just when I was younger, I would not exercise in the summer holidays, and I remember how difficult it was to start only 2 months after. Now, when it's like 12 years, it feels just impossible. And the smoking definitely does not help either. There's that.
But you're gonna quit.
And I
now,
never
right?
really liked it. I never really liked it either, I must say. It's
Really?
the feeling of pushing yourself, and you get this blood taste in the
Yeah,
mouth. And
yeah.
it's horrible.
Yeah,
It's
definitely is.
I never found it enjoyable, but I liked the competition part of it.
Yeah.
Hate that too.
I suppose I'm just weird. I always loved it. The blood taste in my mouth, pushing myself, winning. I did just. I was born and I found myself loving it. Well, what?
Me too.
I see now that the triathlon is just a long distance. The Ironman is a long distance triathlon. So it contains the same disciplines. Next question from Sandra Smith is, what was the food that you had the most trouble getting down? And nice to have tried, but never again experience. For me, it was haukard, definitely, she says. That's the Icelandic shark dish.
Oh, that's lovely. That tastes fine.
Yeah, it's a bit fermented, a bit ammonia smelling and tasting, but not really difficult to get down, I think.
No, it tastes like some we have here, Rastafisk.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I would say it was the drink we mentioned earlier, the
The grappa
palinka.
or palinka.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
the
the
most
worst
disgusting
drink
thing I've ever
was?
tasted.
No. We had more disgusting. The alcohol-free whiskey we had together.
I poured it
was-
out a couple of days ago.
It was just the worst. I mean,
It was not nearly as disgusting.
if you have an
as the
alcohol-free
other one.
beer, that's fine. It's like, yeah, okay, this is kind of like beer, but worse. But that was just, I mean, it made you feel horrible. It made you like what are you even doing with your life? Drinking alcohol-free whiskey? Well,
Look,
you deserve not better than this. Just shoot yourself, man. Horrible stuff.
I drink alcohol-free beer, and
That's
it's
fine.
okay.
That's
it
fine.
tastes close to what poor beer would taste like.
Yeah.
But it does definitely not taste like a real beer.
No, of course not. But believe me,
It's close enough.
That
But
stuff was
booze,
just
alcohol-free booze, that makes no sense.
no. It really doesn't.
So,
it does not make sense.
And any
Yeah,
other
that makes no
disgusting foods you've had that you're happy you tried?
disgusting foods. Actually, it's Faroese traditional food. Something called a rastchurt, which I think is
I fucking love it.
it's absolutely horrible if it's
amazing.
really what you call rust.
Yeah, that's even better.
It's one of my favorite.
it's good.
It's just horrible.
Have you
And
have you
also-
squeezed?
You
Have
need it on
you have you forced anything and forced it down ever, Gunnar? Just to say you've tried it.
Yeah, plenty of time. I usually eat it, but it's
Why?
not what you call. It's not as a rust as my father used to make it.
I see.
Oof. And same goes with the rust fisker, which we
Really?
have.
It's also so good.
Absolutely. I don't get why you would dry fish and take a perfectly good fish that will taste fine, and you dry it and make it taste like shit.
The reason you
makes no
dry
fucking
food
sense.
is for preservation, because you can't eat everything at once, and you need it for later. So
I know.
the Faroese
but
tradition was to dry it. It has a very
it's
specific taste,
horrible.
and I would say most people don't like it unless they grew up with it, and some people don't like it even though they grew up with it. I think it's
I grew up with all of that. I just think it's
yeah. It's one of my
Horrible.
favorite foods,
Horrible.
especially with. a lot of garlic.
I've actually been eating almost every day since we got back from the tour dry fish.
oh.
Yeah.
It's just fucking unbelievable. Just
And I love
potatoes,
fish.
cooked potatoes, and dry fish. Nothing else. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one thing, Jello, which these American I think eat all the time. I can't get that. Getting that into my mouth, I turn inside out.
The jam that is completely smooth.
Yeah, just like the Jello shots they were drinking, eating on the tour.
I never tried those. What is it?
I can't do.
Is it alcohol that is like solid or
It's no.
gelatin?
It's gelatin, and you usually make it with water. But in the Jello shots are made with vodka or whatever.
So how is it made into
Consistent-
gelatin? Like is it like eating a gummy bear or what?
It's a little bit like that, yeah. But it's a bit softer.
Do you know the?
That sounds quite
soup
disgusting.
that
If you push it, it goes on forever, dude.
Do you know
I got-
the?
Oh,
Do you know the jam called Den Gamle Fabrik? They have one that's just Jello.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
And then
No.
it has this. It's just sweet and alcohol taste.
I like the Jello with bits of fruit in it.
Wow.
it's not the taste; it's the color.
Jello shots are common.
consistency.
Consistency
Yeah.
of when I get that into my mouth. Oh, my body just wants to turn
There
inside
are many
out.
people who do those shots in the Faroes too, and Denmark too. It's quite common.
Mhm.
It's just not something people like to do many times. It's
One of those
you
things
take
you
one-
think is disgusting. You would think is disgusting after too many.
yeah.
That Norwegian band did it the whole fucking night.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, Trollfest got like 100 Jello shots from a guy.
And they
who
were
made them.
large. They were like twice as big as a normal shot.
Yeah. I had a few. Shit. They were big.
Yeah. I might have, but I quit drinking some time ago, so none of that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Next question from Sandra Smith, which is the last question we have here. If you have to choose one place where you will be based for the rest of your life, and it cannot be in Europe, what city, island, country, or mountaintop would you choose?
I can start. Brisbane, Australia. And I would not complain.
Is in
ever.
Brisbane, Australia.
Damn, Hans, you took it away from me. I would say the same. Not Brisbane, no. I would say the last one we were on in Australia.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
Adelaide, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Brisbane is a very solid choice, but I would also say Montreal or Japan. Or somewhere in Svalbard.
Put me in Boise, Idaho.
Boise,
Lovely,
Idaho.
lovely place. Yeah.
In the Shredder. Let's have a show in the Shredder on the next tour again.
Yeah.
We have an ongoing challenge, which is to finish the next album before summer 25, or by summer 25. Shall we add another challenge? Does anyone have
Definitely
anything?
not.
Let's
We're busy with this one challenge.
work with this one. Yeah,
We're going to force Hans to quit smoking.
Yeah. Once the album is done, I will quit smoking.
Oh, it's done tomorrow.
Okay. Everybody heard that?
I will never.
We have it on tape.
Touch a cigarette again.
You can.
It is-
You can.
It is public
Rewind it.
information.
Yes.
Good.
I think making the next album sounds good.
Yeah, that's a
By
good.
do
summer
it.
2025.
Right now.
Yeah, making the album is not the issue. Making the album on time is the issue.
Yes. Let's do it.
Summer,
Yes.
by the summer 25. Absolutely. So, with that out of the way, I ask our kind viewers to please hit the thumbs up on this video. Ding! So that the algorithm thinks this is worth a watch, because it is. You can find us on Instagram, where we are Tyr_official. On Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Threads, we are Tyrcast. To make sure you don't miss any of our shows in the future, sign up at bandsintown.com/Tyr. On TikTok, we are at Tyrfaro. Please listen to our music on your favorite streaming platform, or right here on YouTube, where you'll find all our music on our channel. At Tyr.fo, you can find our web store, where you can buy our CDs, LPs, merch, and sign up for our newsletter, which is the best and most certain way of making sure you are connected to the latest news from the band. Again, patreon.com/Tyrband is where you can sign up to support us and ask us questions, and we will answer them in the Tyrcast. Thank you all for being here with us. We hope to have you back here for Tyrcast 37, whenever that is. Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye. Sicko.